Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and after almost 6 years, I'm going to revisit the burger bun chaffle. Crazy as it sounds, it has been almost 6 years since I really went on a great big chaffle frenzy. There were a ton of chaffle videos on this channel, including one where I tested out 6 different viewers' submissions, one of which was a burger bun. I've made a couple of small changes to the original recipe, and I think it really takes this up a notch, both in terms of texture and in taste. Additionally, my method for making chaffles involves using a mini food processor. Now I realize this is an additional gadget to your kitchen, but this thing is wonderful. I use it on so many different things, and I find that by using it on the dry ingredients and really pulsing those up first along with the cheese, I get a much more uniform texture. Now you don't need this, but this is the way I do it. I'm going to start with 1/2 cup of shredded mozzarella, that's 65 grams. To this I'm going to add 1 tablespoon or 10 grams of almond flour, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/8 teaspoon of xanthan gum, and that's the ingredient that helps this bun stand up to a juicy burger. Optionally, you can add 1/8 teaspoon of nutritional yeast for a little more savory flavor. And then we're going to pulse the dry ingredients together. About 10 pulses. And you'll see that then the consistency is about the same as panko breadcrumbs. To this, I'm going to add 1 large egg. Then I'm going to process this together for about 10 seconds or so, scrape down the edges, and give it another 5 or 10 seconds. And then we'll set the food processor aside to make room for my 2 Dash Mini waffle makers. While those are preheating, I'm going to mix in 1 teaspoon of sesame seeds into the batter, just sort of gently stir it in, and then I'm going to do my best to divide this into 2 equal chaffles. Spread it around just a little bit, make it a little more uniform, and then I give it a little bit of a press just to make sure that that batter gets nice and distributed. I'll repeat on the second Dash Mini, and then I'm going to let these cook for about 5 minutes or until I just see a whisper of steam coming out the sides. The lights on these are not an indicator of doneness, but just the power cycling. We want to be looking for that little bit of steam, just that little whisper coming out, and then you can see our chaffles look, in my opinion, pretty much perfect. They're firm, but still pliable. I'll put these on a cooling rack and let them cool for just a minute and then assemble the burger. Burger, not too fancy, just a little slice of cheddar there, a little bit of diced onion, a little squirt of mustard, and finally a little no sugar ketchup. Put on the top, and time to taste. All right, time to give it a taste. And I've got a napkin just off camera because I have a feeling this is going to be a juicy one. What I love about this particular chaffle is just how sturdy it is. It can really hold up to a burger. I don't know that I would do 2 1/4-pound burgers. That might be a little too much, but wow, good stuff. As is the case with almost all of my recipes, down in the description below, I will include a link to the printable recipe with macronutrients, and this is the revised recipe that I did in this video. If you're into burgers and want to see how I make my umami smash burger, I'll include a link to that at the end of this video, as well as a link to bulk chaffle making. So if you enjoyed this video, please click that like button. If you're not a subscriber already, tap that subscribe button, then hit the bell to turn on all notifications. And like I said, I'll put those other 2 videos right up here. The smash burger video will go right up here, and right below it will be the bulk chaffle video. So check them out, make some burgers, have a great 4th of July, and thanks for watching.